So let's talk a bit about the NSX. This is the earliest one in the UK, chassis number 59. Actually a Japanese import, which is why it's so early. They started selling them in Japan before they made it to the UK. Got some very fetching BBS alloys on it. You can see the enormous calipers and discs lurking behind. Mid-mounted 3-litre V6 engine with VTEC YO and essential pop-up headlamps. Have a look inside. And a lot of people level criticism at the NSX because you've got a steering wheel which wouldn't look out of place in a Civic. We've also got a GPS speedometer because it's still reading kilometres. And avoiding speeding tickets is something you need to be aware of in these things. Stubby little gear lever, aftermarket, a few switches. Really neat aircon display. Not very exciting in here, it's all very black plastic, but as far as Honda was concerned, all the excitement came elsewhere. And there we go. VTEC kicks in, yo. And you've also got a fair-sized boot in the back as well. Let's go and see if I can show you that. I think that's that button. So there you go. Who else does reviews that include showing you the boot space? Has been in Modern Classics magazine. Boo, boo, different publisher. This is creating quite a scene, just driving around in a Honda NSX. I'm not used to this. You don't get this driving around in a Daewoo Matiz. Oh, brakes are better than a Mk1 Accord. We can guarantee that. Clutch is rather heavy. The last one of these I drove was an automatic, so this feels very different. Lads here taking photos. Speed humps ruin all the fun. I mean, really, it just sounds like a more aggressive Daewoo Matiz, don't you think? Oh, Chris does like the laid-back driving position, but that kind of works here. I'm not quite sure what the strange squeaking noise is. I'm going to assume nothing's going to fall off. It's a Honda, it shouldn't do. A growing crowd at the entrance expecting hijinks. Ooh, yeah, all of a sudden we're at the speed limit of 40 miles an hour. The ride is as firm as I remember from the other Mk1 I've driven. The other Mk1 is an automatic development car, famously driven by Ayrton Senna, or Ayrton Senna, depending on your pronunciation. And the thing is, apparently he only drove it around the block, but still, a legend is a legend. But the automatics had 260 brake horse, whereas I think these are more like 280, maybe even 290. And the gearbox is pretty much the worst automatic gearbox I've ever encountered. Whereas this feels like it's probably got a quick shift on it. It's a very notchy little action. But we'll see if we can find somewhere to actually open her up a bit. The Honda NSX has wrongly been massively overlooked for years. But because, you know, it's not a Ferrari. I'm just like, well, no, it's about 100 times better than a Ferrari. It's reliable. Yeah, but gotta love a tunnel, haven't you? And precise, and everything feels marvellous. This one's done 161,000 kilometres, which is about 100,000 miles, and you wouldn't know. It feels as tight and precise as it probably did back in the day. haven't had a chance to use most of them. We're in third at the moment, doing about 40 miles an hour. Cyclists everywhere. And this is kind of why I don't get excited about sports cars, because you spend your whole life not being able to enjoy them. Also slightly aware of the fact that the owner said make sure you're in a straight line before you nail it. So as much as I'd love to do a 0 to 60, I'm going to accept my own limitations. I don't drive cars like this, mid-engine, really powerful sports cars, enough. And you won't hear journalists saying that, because journalists are all on a massive ego trip. They all want you to think they're like Clarkson and they can drift it around, you know, on a racetrack with no problems at all. It's simply not true. I don't mind doing a bit of myth busting, but yeah, a lot of it is complete crap. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get stuck in traffic with that clutch. Steering not quite as quick as I expected there. To engage the VTEC YO here, am I? It's quite frustrating. And then you realise you're sitting in a car which, well, luxurious. It's quite nice in here. With ruched leather, don't you know? Is it actually nicer to sit in here than the Mk1 Accord? No. Ooh, sorry, Synchromesh. Right, if I ever get a gap in the traffic, I am going to try and see what the acceleration's all about. Clearly this is the busiest road in Yorkshire. How do I do it every time? I'm sure traffic follows power. Absolutely bet on it. But anyway, I think we're there, so... I forgot to tell you we'd hit 60, but we did. That was, yeah, okay, I can see that was exciting. Because it's not turbocharged, because it's naturally aspirated, because Honda doesn't believe in turbocharging, or certainly didn't. That power is there from the off, so you put your foot down and woohoo! Oh no, a roundabout, we shall have to go round it and accelerate again. I'm immensely frustrated. I can indicate. BMWs. Get us straight before you boot it. Definitely feel the VTEC kicking in. Problem is, by the time the VTEC kicks in, you're kind of naughty. It has to be said, that noise is marvellous, and it's amplified because this car has a straight-through exhaust system all the way from the engine to the tailpipes, which is why it's quite so vocal. In fact, if I can... maybe I should open the window for extra vocalness. Yeah, opening the window does work surprisingly well. I mean, they sound gorgeous anyway, but oh yeah, that's some noise. Really good mid-range shove as well. That was from about 3.5 1,000 revs. I'm now stuck behind a transit van, which just, yeah, I can thrash the Matiz in every gear. The Honda Accord, you don't really want to thrash. The road isn't really the place for cars like this, and I stand by that. But yeah, I'm hugely grateful to owner Chris for letting me have a go. I know there's a tunnel on the way back. Let's wait for that. Tunnel approaching. I like that far more than I liked 4-gear synchromesh. So there you go. That was a Honda Mk1 Accord. And now me aboard an NSX doing 40 miles an hour and a 40 limit. Exciting times! But thank you very much to Chris for letting me drive both his Hondas. And I love the variety. And you know, you can feel elements of the Accord even in this. There's that same really tight engineering feel. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. And I shall see you in a future video. That steering's not bad. You consider how big the tyres are and there's no power steering. Most people don't drive a Honda NSX at gentle speeds, I guess, but there you go, HubNut does.